This is going to be the unedited version of the interview with myself, Mark, the 1 million share owner of BNGO, and Aaron, the subscriber that met us there as well. We're going to be interviewing each other, discussing all things BNGO. This is the unedited version. Mark asked me to post the unedited version earlier today, so this is what we're doing. So here we go. Enjoy. We just recorded about 20 minutes or 30 minutes without hitting it.
Sorry.
I do the same thing. Trust me. I've done that more times than you can count.
Okay, let's do it professionally. So at least we did a summary. Okay, so I am so pleased to meet Brandon. I didn't catch your names.
Aaron.
And Aaron. Aaron just showed up, but this is without a gun, fortunately.
He's still alive.
Without a gun, fortunately.
yeah, he's the bodyguard. He's protecting me from Mark. Yeah.
I'm a guest here, so I'm going to be quiet and only answer questions for both of them. So it's your video.
No, it's just open discussion. But I want to go over a couple of things. We need to go over this guy. This is one of the largest BNGO shareholders. He's got about 1 million shares. I can verify that. I've seen the proof, and he's got a theory about Fulgent Genetics. Maybe it's a long shot, in his own words, acquiring Bionano, because he basically, I'll let him give the spiel. But to sum it up real quick before we lose everybody, he got a freaking threatening, almost, sell your share. Not threatening, but threatening as in sell your shares, please now, implication from the partner of freaking Joe Tsai, which is $11 billion net worth, huge business entrepreneur, and I'll let him do the spiel from here.
Right, so it wasn't threatening. It was more of a suggestion, and I'm going to do you a favor. Best thing for you to do as of January 26th or February something is sell your shares, because if, basically what was said, as you saw in the text message, if Kathy Woods has not bought these shares by now, she's never going to buy them, which so far is, proven true, and that the stock was going to drop from where it was at that time, about $13 or $14, and it's going to drop down to $5, which is pretty accurate. And I didn't sell, obviously, and I didn't take his advice. I did sell about 100,000 shares and invested in other stocks like ACST. I made some money, and then the rest, when it came down to BNGO being down to like 4 and change, I sold all my other shares and I bought BNGO. But I've been holding firm because of this situation where I kind of put the pieces together. Like, it is true that I post my telephone number on stock boards. I got kicked off of StockTwits, so I can't post there anymore, but I was posting my number there. And I was posting on Yahoo. Neither one of them, I don't find any credibility, but I have had a lot of people call me, good people and bad people. So the way this guy reached out to me was he saw my phone number and he called me. And I think he probably checked to make sure I had 1 million shares. And he said, well, let me make this call. And he suggested that I sell the shares. And since I got that call, and since I know how humanity works, nobody's going to do a favor like that for you. So I think he had an ulterior motive, and that's why I held.
It's proof that the top-up people, executives, big companies, whatever, people with a lot of influence in the world want big shareholders to sell BNGO for some reason. At least this is one example. And one extrapolation may be it's, well, as you're talking about, maybe Fulgent wants the price to go lower so they can acquire them. Maybe it's a long shot, right? But maybe. But it's just proof that top people want Bionano to go down. And the short interest data freaking, it coincides perfectly.
It could be a hedge fund play. It could be somebody just knowing that the stock is going to go up. How could they have this much hate for BNGO?
Right.
I don't know if Eric's an irritating guy. I don't know him. I know that there's a lot of YouTubers like yourself that cover the stock, which I have a question. Why do you cover the stock so intensely?
Well, like specifically or just in general?
Well, how did you find it, and why are you so in love with BNGO?
The only reason why I cover BNGO and no other stocks is because it's what consistently gets views, and the reason why I cover BNGO the most, I don't know. It's very interesting as my biggest portfolio position. That's mostly why. But I'll do more stocks in the future. But it's the most interesting. It's my best area of expertise. Yeah.
Okay, so your intent, which is clear, is to become a great YouTuber finance guy, and then propel yourself from there.
Certainly, yeah.
Okay. How about yourself? How did you get BNGO? How did you find it?
checking out different stocks on YouTube, and I bought quite a few, just small dollar amounts, and monitored their progress and added to. And BNGO quickly was one of those top performers that got a lot of my attention, and then I started doing more research and found Brandon and these other guys, and my conviction has risen.
Right. I mean, I think that it's dangerous to fall in love with any stock, and it definitely brings a lot of stress when you hold as many shares as I do, and there are other companies out there. But as I've said many times, the only reason why I keep BNGO, because I can't see anything wrong with the leadership. I'm not hearing any rumors like I saw in so many other companies. I owned iBio, OCGN, TRNX, so many different stocks that I'm like, wow, this is flaky. But this company just comes out and they seem honest. I mean, I did go to San Diego, and I was poking my head in the window. I found nothing out except that they have 2 buildings there that they operate from. But I didn't see anything in the windows, anything. And then you had that, what's that, those 3 guys that do the podcast?
The Full Bowl podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those guys, they seem to have a good connection to BNGO. I told them that because I'm like, hey, you guys have to know the guy.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they're certainly very bullish. I haven't seen much of their stuff, but yeah, maybe.
Are they still doing it?
I don't know.
The podcast?
Last I checked, I don't know. They were doing them a couple months ago. I haven't checked since then.
And then Mr. Invest-A-Lot. Hey, Mr. Invest-A-Lot, cowboy here. He's a great performer. I mean, you're both great performers. You're very entertaining.
Yeah.
Different style than Mr. Invest-A-Lot, but Mr. Invest-A-Lot is great too. And I hope you guys really continue with the stocks and do a lot more.
Collab and all that.
We are doing that. Yeah, we're going to do collab, I think, next weekend. We are.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stocks. The reason I'm here, the main reason I'm here, that I came to Missouri, is I had a meeting in Arkansas with a couple of journalists that work for Newsweek. But I was going to come anyway, even if they weren't here, because I want to meet YouTubers. I want to meet guys that are putting their neck on the line, saying that this is a good stock or that's a bad stock or whatever. Because I think that what's happening with the market could really change people's lives. It changed my life, and I'm talking about people that are really struggling. They can build up their wealth and also create jobs in the country if they're investing in companies that actually are generating equity for their companies, because that's how you grow a company. And I think that guys like you are critical because you bring truth to the formula. At least your own version of truth.
I think it's very important. Yes, it's great that we live in a country that we can actually, anyone can say whatever they want and give their opinions on it and be wrong as hell. But yeah, so yeah, my whole channel. If BNGO fails, I mean, you guys know what's gonna happen to my channel. It's it's gonna self implode. So a lot is on the line, but I knew that wasn't coming in, and here we are.
Yeah, I was in. You cover MVIS, right?
I do.
Sometimes, yeah.
I was heavily invested in MVIS, and I didn't like that when I posted anything negative, you get attacked. I was like, wait a second, this doesn't make sense. They don't. If Microsoft had those HoloLens glasses, and they sold all those things, then where's the revenue? And people just totally attacked me, and that's a red flag to me that it's a pump. And they have the what is it, the
LiDAR?
LiDAR.
Yeah.
Right? But then in the way I was reading MVIS information is, when I first invested in it, it seemed like they were the only game in town. But then
there's several competitors.
Oh my God! Then so many came out. Luminar went public.
Yeah, Luminar.
Yeah, but so many others, and I kind of started asking questions, and people were getting furious. I'm shocked. I mean, I sold that stock at $2.40. I bought it for 40 cents, but I was shocked that it went to $24. I bought it back, probably at 18. but now it's down to like 18 again.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think that there is some hype that draws us in. BNGO, I think, went to 97 cents and then dropped down to 63 or 53, and that's when I bought it because I said, oh, it's going to go up again.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't. It went down lower than 53 cents, and I held it. I had 100,000 shares, and then it jumped to 70 some cents, and that's when I bought the rest of the shares and got back into it. I knew really nothing about, like you do. You know everything about this company.
Yeah, with that MVIS and the hate you receive from just saying your own opinion, people want that confirmation bias. They want to feel good about their picks, and that's why when Bean goes red, everybody hates Brandon, and when Bean goes green, everybody loves Brandon. And they want to feel good about their investments and their picks, and if you're even if you're speaking the truth or just your opinion, they think you're hating on their stock, and you're adding to the FUD basically.
What's the FUD?
Fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Okay. Yeah, I've lived with that every day.
Don't we all?
I think that they're not really sticking their neck out like he is, or in that case,
especially him, streaming
Yeah.
hours every day,
hours and hours and hours. But the coverage is good, and I'll tell you right now,
Yeah,
I can't stop watching it because when he's live, number one, I'm getting the data from the people's comments, right, what they're saying.
right?
But he's calling the chart out. Oh, this is below the 200 moving day average, and look, it's overbought, or look, it's oversold. And I don't know that stuff.
I pick up.
How did you learn that stuff?
Just like you guys, just literally first-hand experience, watching other videos and articles. It's as simple as it was.
Okay, because I was going to say, to your point, like I've learned a lot about technical analysis just from listening to you. Like sometimes I don't even, I'm not even looking at my phone because I'm at work, but I can picture what you're saying, and with having a little knowledge, starting to piece things together, and it's good.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going to happen with BNGO. My hunch is that they are really on top of things. My biggest fear is it's a software company. Someone can write better software. But for right now, they have the momentum, something special about them.
The closest competition would be NABS. He's the CEO. I think 99% sure. He said they're years away. But yeah, I hear you. There's been concerns that China sales, they're going to replicate the technology, right? Because China, people think they replicate every technology.
Hell
I think it's, dissecting a freaking box, seeing, trying to see what makes it tick and then replicating it is, obviously near impossible, but, it's a possibility, but, with the product, I don't think it's.
Let me give you the real crazy analysis, okay? We have a potential that the COVID vaccine came from China. Could have been an act of war. It could have been active war from anywhere. And then you have this machine that could probably determine who can get very sick from it and who is likely not to get sick from it. Then you have a sale to China, right? And then you have people that are shorting the stock, trying to make the company look like they're garbage. To me, it sounds like, hey, maybe China really wants this thing. Maybe they don't want it to be out on the market because you're really going to discover what is going on here.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure Sava's already been used for COVID strands and seeing what it does. Plus, we already were in China before COVID, I believe. But I do hear you there. I do hear.
What did they
hear
find
the
out
concern
when they
for that.
looked?
For the COVID, no one talks about the COVID thing anymore at all. But they did find some information. There were several studies on with Sapphire and COVID, but nothing groundbreaking.
Didn't they just recently have an article out that they said they found COVID in sewage water someplace?
With the Sapphire or with Bionano
With
relation?
Sapphire, yeah.
I don't. I think I would have. Not in May or now. I don't think. I could be wrong. It could.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't put the research time in. I just thought I read that somewhere, but I don't know. It's interesting. Again, I'm not in love with Bionano. I'm in love with just trying to retire and make some money.
So compared, you say you're not in love with it, and that's good to not be too attached, but compared or relative to other picks, other options, you know, you've got 7 or 8 million in one company that you're not in love with. Why keep it all in one company?
Well, as I said many times, taxes.
Leadership. Oh, you're right.
Leadership.
You're scaring me now.
Yeah.
Taxes sell out right after it's 1 year.
Yeah,
No,
when's your 1 year?
maybe not. I mean, it depends on the direction of the company. If
Oh,
I was,
oh, you're freaking
when's
me out now.
When's your 1 year at?
You're freaking me out, Mark.
wait, I'm not. Listen, I don't. I would tell you the truth. If I was going to sell, I'd tell you the truth.
Yeah, I'm just teasing.
But at this point, I'm not in my. You know, you guys gotta understand. I get divorced. I had nothing, right? I married my high school sweetheart.
You did sell 100,000 shares of something pretty recently.
Yeah, I did. I did sell, and with that money, I paid taxes. I reinvested, paid off my kids' loans and stuff. But you gotta understand, when I got divorced about 20 years ago, I had nothing, right? I married my high school sweetheart, right? It didn't work out because I'm a risk taker, she's not. So we didn't get along. But now I'm actually able to help her retire. You know, sort of like payback. You know, it's a
temptation.
it's a big deal that I'm able to help her because she's the mother of my kids, and I feel like, wow, it didn't work out, but I got 3 kids out of this, and now I can help her, right? I mean, you guys have no idea how a very short time ago how poor I was.
He's gonna sell out right when
I'm
1
not
year.
gonna sell out.
What do you think? What do you think?
Listen, I don't want a Lambo.
Let's say Bionano hits $20. Let's say Bionano hits $15 to $10 1 year from now, or 2021,
All right,
2022.
so
what are you thinking?
in my hiking group.
This is recorded. Don't say anything that's lying.
No. In my hiking group, which is called Trail Shrinks, by the way, we started hiking together, and I started giving my stock picks. And we have created several close to millionaires from just the stock picks that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it's Trail String stock picks, and you're welcome to join the group.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's a signal group, but I would say that I'm really just interested in maintaining the money. I'm still in shock. At one time, I had 17 million. Right, the stock was up to 15.79.
Oh, yeah.
So with my other shares, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and you know the people in that group were saying sell. I'm like, no, I'm not going to sell because of taxes. You know, so
it's
you
over. It's GG.
Yeah,
Let's see, 72 cents. Okay.
Yeah, wait. Where did you buy it? What's your 1 year point?
At the
It's
point,
gonna be a bad day.
At the
to
point, wait.
Sell out before
At the
that.
point, no. At the point where I had 17 million, my average cost was 97 cents for BNGO.
What date? What date did you get your 1 million shares?
Around December.
Okay, we've got a little bit of time. We've got a little bit of time to this out. How many
Listen,
realistically? How many do you think you're gonna sell? I know it's probably gonna be a little bit. I understand. I would sell a little bit.
Well, I
too,
have
if
to
was a
pay my
millionaire.
tax because I
Right.
So I
20%.
sold some to pay taxes. Now I have to sell some to pay taxes again.
Yeah, it's
So you know, I'd like to get a down payment for my ex-wife's condo, you know, where she's going to retire. So that's going to be like $100,000 or so, or $150,000. And well, we don't know where the stock price is going to. Plus, I still work as a roofer.
You're still going to be a long-term hodler, which at least a
It
lot of your
depends.
shares, at least some.
Let's say
what
that
does it depend on?
it depends on, you know, I invest in integrity. If I were to sell everything in BNGO now, I'd probably buy Ford. I'd dump everything into Ford, and hold as many shares of that as possible, right? Because
what would make you do that?
Right.
If you think I make decisions that technically, you're wrong. It'll just be a snap
gut.
decision.
Your gut, yeah,
My
the
gut
instinct.
Yeah, I mean, you know, right now, tomorrow, maybe something totally different. I think that it has to be a really good company that I believe in, or and this is true. I'm talking to the audience right now. I'm going to tell you right now. I would take the money and probably buy 10 more companies, 1 million shares that were at a low price. and hold on to them. But I would research the companies. I wouldn't just buy any companies. But I really like CSCW because I think that, I grew up in the 70s and music was everything. Music was the startup business in the 70s. But that music really kind of created fashion, created the future, and I think right now we have a shortage of music. So that's why, would I buy 1 million shares of CSCW? Yeah, I probably would. If I did some more research on it. Or
Let me ask you this.
I believe in NFTs. I do. I think that creativity needs some other type of protection than just copyright.
I think if the company does what we think it's going to, like what most people think it's going to, you're going to, based on what I just heard, you're probably going to be holding for at least most of your shares without the,
Yeah, I mean,
excluding
I
the
have
ones
to
you're gonna
survive. I have to live and survive. I packed up my truck, heading down to Florida. I'm going to continue roofing. I can live on my roofing. Where I am set up in Florida, I have very low cost. Going down there, I fix roofs. I'm an expert at it. I'm just going to keep working doing that. So I personally don't need any money.
Bionano $15 end of the year or 20, you're selling 100,000 or more.
That's not a large percentage.
100,000 shares or more.
Yeah, probably about 100,000. That's
Okay.
nothing.
He's still going to be a long-term hodler then. Most of the shares. 1/10 is gone, but
I would say,
still
Eric, if
most
you're
of
watching
them.
this, all I'm looking for is integrity. Every one of your people have to have integrity, have to be working as hard as I work on the roof. If you're doing that, and if you're protecting your technology, protecting yourself against industrial espionage, managing your programmers so that they cannot steal and so that you can monitor everything, I'm holding.
If it goes up to 20, end of the year maybe, or shoot, next 12 months, and you need 150,000 for your condo, that's not a whole lot.
No, it's not a lot. It's not a lot of money.
And I know you said you go with your gut.
And we're both not ready to retire yet either. Anyway, so I'm down in Florida because if I sell, I don't want to have to pay heavy northern, North American, New Jersey taxes. That's why I live in Florida now, and that's why I set up my business down there.
Good idea. So I know you.
My ex-wife is in New Jersey. She's working there. She's not going to retire for a couple of years, but I really would. You know what? How many times you get a second chance to make things right?
The only way you're going to be able to tell if Eric is setting up good safeguards for intellectual property and working hard, the only way you're going to be able to tell that stuff is weird PR drops and earnings reports revenue. You're going to have to gauge. That's very loose definitions. How are you going to gauge that?
You want to know why I first really bought the stock? I picked up the phone. I called Bionano, BNGO.
Investor relations?
Nope. I don't do things that way.
Okay.
I just called. I got to the receptionist or somebody, a random woman.
I wish I could get there.
I've
tried that.
A random woman. I got a random woman. I said, "Oh, is this Bionano?" He says, "Yeah, it's Bionano." I said, "Oh, what do you do?" She says, "Oh, I'm in sales." I said, "You like working there?" She says, "I love working here." I said, "Oh, it's great. How's the weather there?" "Oh, good." Her comments to me, which was a warm, trusting voice, made me buy the stock.
The secretary.
The secretary, sort of.
Well, that's certainly
unique.
That's certainly unique.
I am the most. I'm not a smart guy, really. I'm just a roofer. But I said, okay, here's a person that's got nothing at stake, most likely, and they say they love working at the company. Somebody says they love working at a company.
The reviews are very good on freaking what's it called?
Glassdoor or something?
Yeah, one of those.
Okay.
Is almost all good reviews and employee reviews.
I would say don't fall in love with any stock at all. I mean, Ocugen, I was like, I bought it at 29 cents, and I bought it because the analyst was, from New York, and I'm like, no, they're doing the eye business. As soon as they switched businesses, they went into COVID. I'm like, that's it. There's no integrity here.
Bionano's got like 50 businesses. So many markets. But yeah, I hear you.
No, but they're in the same business, though. It's really, they're analyzing the variations, the structural variations.
Well, yes, at the fundamental level, but you can use that hospital, cytogenetics, research and development, here, universities, right? But yeah, I hear you. You're right, yeah. Here, let me ask you this. Before we go, we're going to get out here pretty soon, I think. I don't know what you guys are thinking as far as time, but let's do end-of-year price predictions so that everyone knows right now. End of year, let's start with you. so I can get more time to think.
End of year. Oh man. $20 flat based on my gut.
Okay. My gut prediction is it's either going to be, and my gut prediction, honestly, the reason I'm holding on is I think this could be, $75. I mean, honestly.
End of year or at some point?
At some point.
Okay.
And I think, no, end of year, I don't think it's moving that way. Now, I thought end of year, the reason why I didn't sell at 15 is because I was definitely thinking 25, but I still wouldn't have sold then. It's going to really depend on their earnings for the next period, and which I'm scared of, right? Because if they're bad, we're going to drop again. But I would say we're going to be 15 minimum at the end of the year. If not $4, we're going to be 15, and that's really, I mean, you can't tell. I told you I hired a journalist to do a story on them. She could get no information out, but I don't know how hard she worked. It's a freelance journalist. I said, do a story.
We need to get a journalist to go over the patents on nanonozzle. I need to do that. We need
a scientific student that is not an investor that looks at the patents. Which, by the way, going back to MVIS, you want to know what really made them hate me over there? I said I want to hire a patent attorney to evaluate the patents. Which, by the way, you can do, and I know a patent attorney that'll do it. It costs money. It costs you like $30,000 to get the patents evaluated.
You can afford that. You got freaking a million shares.
No, but and with MVIS, I could afford it then too. And I I want to be an activist investor and evaluate these patents. Well, when they flipped out, when they were going crazy about that, I'm like, oh, this stuff.
They said, no, you can't?
No, they're like, you're an idiot. We already know this, blah, blah, blah.
The Reddit people said that, or the company said that?
The StockTwits people there.
Oh.
They had a big crowd of people.
They do. Microvision's following is as defensive as any, but they are very knowledgeable, you could say as well. A lot of people think they're
hey, listen,
it's cult-like intelligence.
Anybody can repeat what they read. But when you say I want to evaluate the value, again, I wanted to get an appraisal on the patents. Now that's what could happen with BNGO. You get an appraisal on the patents. So you have to hire a patent attorney that's familiar with that type of stuff. I called the guy, and I had a guy lined up from Microvision. Okay, it was only going to cost $30,000, but the people not the people of Microvision, but the guys who were investors in pumping the stock, they were going bananas. They didn't want that to happen. Oh, you're an idiot. You're this or that, and they managed to get me kicked off of StockTwits. And I think that's a sign. So if you say you're going to have the patents appraised and people start freaking out, then you know you got some fraud. If people don't start freaking out, then you know you're probably okay. So, and that's what really has to happen. You have to appraise the patents. So a patent attorney will appraise the patents, and they'll speculate on the value of those patents. Now, the patents are critical, right? Unless Biden, like he was going to do with the COVID vaccines, wipes out, patent protection, which is very scary.
Really? Is he looking at that? I don't think he's looking at that.
He was looking at that, yes. He said, his administration said, that they're going to disregard all patents for the COVID vaccine.
Well,
and let people manufacture it anywhere. This is what was said. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. That's not all patents, but yeah.
Not
most
all patents.
Bionanos is not COVID, but yeah, that's true.
Right.
All right. Here, let me say this. Yeah, the nanonozzle patent. We need to have people on the nanonozzle patents because we're talking about sequencing options that no one knows about. Sequencing field option, they can exercise it, and they can get the rights to make sequencing products. Right now, we're not sequencing. We're optical genome mapping.
Well, wasn't there a partnership with PacBio?
Yes, exactly, and they can exercise that. It's like a patent it's like a deal with PacBio. Bionano had to pay a one-time fee for it, according to good sources.
Which I don't like that.
They would have had a way to apparently restrict our sales, maybe, if we didn't have this patent. Right. And it is a sequencing field option that we can exercise. I don't know if we have. I don't know how we would see if we did. I guess a new patent saying we're exercising it. I don't know if that's there. But this is from 2016. Why would they have that in 2016 if they did not have some desire to make sequencing products in the future. There's also some other stuff Bionano gets. Nothing that important. So the fact that they got that stuff, it's like, well, they want sequencing technology at one point or another. That's one of the biggest proofs for nanonozzle. And once that happens, we're going places no one understands. No one even fathoms.
FDA approval could happen suddenly.
So the nozzle is crossing it's that bridge to sequencing with the mapping.
Yeah, we don't know exactly if it's going to be in the Sapphire or a new product altogether, but yeah, it's going to be sequencing capabilities.
Okay.
PatBio, Illumina type stuff. Well, I guess we don't know technically, but yeah, stuff like that in the same realm.
Gotcha.
Mr. Auspicious Descent, can I ask that you tell us what's the most positive thing about BNGO and what's the most negative? And then I'll do it, and then you do it.
That's
and
a
your
great
price
question.
target.
Yes, price target. Okay, so price target, this is weird. I say it every time. Most of the people know probably. But in between 20 and 15 is usually what I say. So I'll say 17.5 right now for the record. But that's the likely case for me. But yeah, what's the best thing about Bionano is undoubtedly that what it does, the greater than 500 base. I sound really smart when I say this. I memorize this because this is what the company does, and this is what I hear from the company and the C-suite. But this is, to my understanding, we do greater than 500 base pair structural variation, right? That's a type of genetic analysis, right? No one else in the game does that even close to what we do. Not even close. So the market share that we can take just based on that fact is huge because there's other people using the other methods right now in that market. They haven't switched to Sapphire yet, to my understanding. That's huge. That's the best. So that's the best thing. Sapphire does what it does better than everyone else in the world. The worst thing about it is why haven't the people already adopted the Sapphire? And most people say resistance to change and lack of academic praise. That's what journalists have said. I think that's largely true. But yeah, that's the most concerning thing. Why haven't they already bought the Sapphire?
The most positive, I think, and I think only in stock price, most positive thing is the shorts. I think it's such a positive that people would take the time to try to drive the price of the stock down while the volume still maintains itself. I think they're accumulating the stock endlessly, trying to get people scared, using scare tactics on all the stock sites. I find that as a positive sign.
That's on every stock, though. I'm with you, but there's always FUD bears on every stock, no matter what. Every stock, even freaking Amazon. Well, not many, but you find them.
Yeah,
you find bears on everything.
Yeah, but not shorting like this. When you see it, they'll short more when the stock price goes up. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, they are insane.
They're just trying to drive the price down and accumulate. The negative thing is, I would say that late to the game sales team building. That's the negative. You hire new people. How can they add sales to the quarter? They're adding costs to the quarter, but it takes people a while to get started. So that's kind of negative.
Well, one of them was from Illumina. They have FDA approval experience as well, and one of them grew a business from 8 to 200 million. But yeah, I hear you.
I wish they were there in January.
Yeah, I do too. So. It's definitely business expansion though. But yeah, all right, go ahead.
I don't know. One of my favorite things that I like about it is one of the reasons that I bought in the very first place was I saw some article talking about the efficiency of their product compared to Pac B and the price.
Yes.
And I think that price is the main thing for me. I'm a Kathy fanboy. They talk about, I think it's Price's law, whatever that law is, where as the cost to produce whatever the product or the service declines, adoption and demand increases. And I think PacBio, it was like 10 grand a gene or something like that.
Something crazy. One per genome, yeah.
And BNGO was $500 or something like that. And just I keep hearing Kathy talk about the genomic move and the era. And
Kathy, what are you talking about?
That's right.
I love her.
Talking about CRISPR and I've heard her talk about where getting your genome sequence edit is going to just be a normal run-of-the-mill checkup, $100 kind of thing, and I think that adoption will occur as the price continues to drop, more adoption increase. So I think just their efficiency and their price, the fact that they've got such a head start, that makes me feel really good.
Yeah. What's surprising to me, like CNBC, it seems like they don't like her. You know, it seems like people
Kramer
don't like
talking
her.
about her. Yeah.
I think she's brilliant.
She's the new type of investor, growth, disruptive technology. None of the old people like that.
Right.
Well,
I would have never put my telephone number out there unless, you know, she's transparent. She does what they trade. When I sell a stock, I tell them, yeah, I sold it.
Got to respect that.
You know, just tell the truth.
Yeah.
There's a shortage of truth.
She's taking a lot of heat, but she'll have her run here in a little bit.
I think so.
The only thing about her is that when her ETF started, it was literally sideways and went down for like the first 2 years or something. But yeah, it's freaking skyrocketed since then. So
well, she's a genius.
Yeah, you know, companies are going to do well. You don't know when though, right? So maybe she knew all along.
On the cusp of their 13 technologies or whatever, 5 platforms, and they're ready for prime time. I think I trust her. I think she's done a lot of research, and I believe her research over mine.
It's bad. It's bad that you're saying that because Kathy Wood, we're praising her, and she.
That's the negative. That's
she
my
doesn't
one
like
negative.
She's Simon Barnett.
Maybe somebody insulted her company from BNGO. So I mean, if that happened with me, out of principle, I just wouldn't buy the stock. You know, maybe somebody.
Hope so.
Maybe it's got nothing to do with technology. It's got everything to do with a personal thing.
Maybe.
And people have been known to stick to their guns and say, no, we're not buying BNGO, and that's it. But there are many other investors that want to make money, and you know, we'll have to see. I mean, listen, many a biotech company has fallen apart. We should all be careful. I remember I was building a porch for this lady, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I try to buy stocks and everything, and she was basically calling me a complete idiot. She's like, you're an idiot, and you know, I was like, you know, just giving, kind of like trying to make conversation, saying, yeah, I like this company, blah blah. She's like, oh no, I have Tyco. I mean, why are we even talking about it? And then shortly afterwards, Tyco gone. So you know, Tyco was like a major big player, and poof, you know, they really fell apart. And I think that anybody who invests, and I worry about this every day, you know, I may be selling my car tomorrow if something happens. You know, you never know what's going to happen. So the stock market is, you know, can be a horrible place and take all your money, or take the money you've earned. So, yikes.
Risk-reward ratio.
Yeah.
You got to take risks. If you don't take risks, there's no point and there's no reward out of it.
Just one other thing I wanted to ask you. You've seen the projected future revenues, correct?
Right.
Does that excite you about holding? Does that make you want to hold? Or are you more so hesitant, you want to watch what the management does? That's your number one.
The number one thing, I think everything is about people, right?
Okay.
I'm here because,
right,
you know, a young man who's trying to really make it, and I think he has something that the stock market needs. We need 1,000 more of Brandons, 1,000 more Mr. Investor Labs. It's all about people, and as much as we've tried to isolate ourselves or we've become divided, the cure to everything is people connecting. So you can speculate that your sales are going to be anything, but it's how the people perform together. You know, if we start hearing some infighting in BNGO, that's not a good sign. We want to see major teamwork, which means they have to hit milestones quickly, right? Because that's what teamwork does. Is it shows you the advances really quickly. I think they've got their marketing down pat. You know, all the texts and all the comments that they make. But now we have to see 10 sales made this week.
Right.
You know, major investor.
That'd be nice.
You know, major investor. You know, buys 5 to donate to this place or whatever. You know, if it went to 25, I will at least probably buy one and donate to someplace. But I would say that that's what we really need. Now, I have a really smart friend who's an economist, and he says, when I was in college, I was saying, oh, I want to have this business, I want to have that business. And he said, show me, don't tell me. Smartest guy I know, Jack Flattery. And he was very firm about it. He said, I don't want to hear it, just show me. And that's it. Hey, we're in the show me state.
We are.
That's right.
The only cool thing about Missouri, the only cool name, Misery is what we call it.
Yeah. Hey, this is where Jesse James is from. St. Joe, Missouri.
Which Jesse James?
Jesse James, the outlaw.
I was thinking, when you said Jesse James, I thought Steelers, because anyways,
Oh.
there's a Steelers player there. I was going to say on that revenue point, if the revenue goes like it's projected, I mean, most people know, I mean, it's absolutely overbound, and it will be, I mean, you said 10x.
Oh.
I mean, I'm talking, if we get what they are projecting, what is it, okay? I mean, basically, even the analysts, if you extend it from 2026 at the CAGR, what it is, we're talking at least close to $1 billion in 2030 alone. I mean, we're talking, okay, 50x, 30x, easy. Okay, 1 billion, if the DCF model by Ragnaros. Yeah, I mean, what do you call it? There's a realistic case that we get $2 billion in revenue, and not revenue, sorry, profit, not net income, without with taxes. Yes, net income according to many sources. Yes, I mean it's absolutely over, and that's what the analysts are projecting, right? That's not us. That's the analysts.
And I looked up a few different sites. I was trying to find if anybody knows websites that project revenue multi-year. Please let this man know so he can share with us.
More than 2026. I've seen the ones that go through 2025, 2026.
I was looking at ChartMill, which it goes out to 2025, and I was comparing the numbers for 2021, 2022 amongst other sites to see, like, okay, is ChartMill at least accurate in their initial projections? And they were. And I think 2021 projected what revenue 10 or 20.
It should
like
be. Well,
that.
Simply Wall Street is 16 million. It'll be in the realm. ChartMill, I want to say ChartMill had a 21 million. I want to say, but it's around 15 to 20.
In that range. 2025 is 200 plus. So
that's enough said. I mean, that's what
12x by now to 2025 through 2025.
The revenue at the core level. I mean, the revenue and then the money is the stock price. Okay, at the end of the day, we're here to make money. That's what the company does. Okay, so stock price, we're already pricing in future stuff. What is it, 12x, right? You said
12 from today to 2025,
okay.
And if it goes to $1 billion, that's 70.
Enough said. Okay, and this is what I don't understand. I mean, if the analysts are right, I mean it's absolutely over, and Nano Dimension is valued higher than us. So they don't even make anything revenue, right? Nothing against Nano Dimension, right? I like them, but no one knows about this stuff. No, I mean that's the only explanation. No one knows about the revenue. I mean these people know, but the masses,
right? The
people who are shorting it, they don't pay attention to this stuff. I don't think.
Well, that's why, what you're doing is so important. This is unheard of. 3 strangers.
That's true. That is this.
Did you know me before this?
I knew you were Newsweed and you were coming to see him.
Okay. I didn't know him. I walked in and he said, "Hey, I'm from the stream." Yeah. I didn't know this is. I mean, this. Yeah.
I just commented on his videos and I don't even have my own picture on YouTube, so I knew you're gonna have no idea who I am.
Yeah.
Hopefully you recognize my name at best, but I was like, I can't miss this chance to come,
it's awesome. It's unheard of.
And, I'm glad that he met me because now he can tell people the guy really owns the shares.
And he's going to hold forever.
And
yeah, he's never going to sell a share. If he does, I want us to riot outside of his house.
You got to let this video run because, listen, I'm telling you, who the hell would say that he wants to take care of his ex-wife, high school girlfriend because he's basically couldn't do it before? I mean, it's the truth.
He's selling.
I'm not selling.
No, he's selling.
I just want to listen. I don't have a long life ahead. That bag over there is full of medicine. Okay, but I want to make sure that my ex-wife is taken care of.
We don't want to pressure you. We understand. Yeah,
you
need to sell. Everyone.
Yeah, right.
I don't want a Lambo. I don't want a boat. I don't want anything. I just pretty much I want to exercise every day. That's what I like doing, and I want to keep roofing.
There you go.
That's what I want to do. I hiked this morning.
Well, whatever you do, make sure you
sell.
I hope
there's some hiking
Mark
around
does.
here. I hope there's some hiking around here in Missouri. Any good trails around here?
Well, I don't even. It's been so long since I went through it. Wilson's Creek. Is that what it's called?
I'll get up early tomorrow and go.
That's like
I don't know. I don't.
Are there any dangerous animals around here I have to worry about?
No.
I'm not the person to ask. It's
Okay.
misery, but I don't know about that kind of misery.
You don't got to worry about that.
No, nothing. All right, that's cool.
Not anywhere near here, I would say, at least.
No.
I hiked in Arkansas, and
Maybe a bobcat or something.
yeah, they were saying, oh, venomous snakes. That's what we have to
yeah,
worry about.
yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, we done? Anything else?
I think that I've asked about
$20 price target end of year, 15,
15.
17 and a half for me, and basically 20 to 15. Okay, I know there's people calling to me. I don't know.
But it's gonna
I said
be what
20.
it is. It is what it is. You know.
It doesn't matter
It
next
doesn't really
year.
matter. If you're a young person like this guy, just keep investing. Keep investing.
They don't care. They will come on the stream every day. It doesn't matter what you say. They will get. Everyone is pissed off, wanting to kill each other when we're down. It does not matter.
If you're if you're a cook in a diner, take $5 a week and just put it in stock.
Right. Anything you can. Whenever you're annoyed or whatever, you're fearful of bingo, go to ChartMill and look up those revenues, please, and have a little bit of guts and just think like time really does go by fast, and it just goes faster. And 2030, think about 50 times in.
If the analysts are right, you're going to make, 500% minimum in a 5-year outlook. Okay, if the analysts are right, not us. If the analysts are right, that's what you're making. So it's a risk, right? But yeah.
Yeah, I would say don't worry too much about money. Worry more about health and love. Sorry, that's the only thing that matters. Do you have a girlfriend?
No, I don't have much luck with the ladies, my friends.
Work on that.
Yeah.
Are you married?
No, I got a girl. I need to get back to her actually before too long.
Well, that's what you focus on. Or whatever, find a partner you love, because being alone sucks.
It doesn't matter. The people will come in the stream tomorrow if we're red, and they will hammer us. It does not matter what we say. But with that being said, or at least me in the stream. But yeah, thank y'all so much.